The rain kept pouring down like a massive flood. Everything in front of me was a blur of white, but I had to keep running as fast as I could, or else the bakery owner would have my head. Just this once, please let me go. I'm starving. But he didn't stop. I sped up, turning into an alley, and hid behind a large trash bin. It was then that I realized I had dropped the ham sandwich I'd just stolen. It was only after he angrily gave up and left that I dared to go out and pick up the sandwich. But it was already soggy from the rain. My whole body was drenched and I was shivering with cold and hunger. Did I really have to eat it? At that moment, the scent of sausages wafted past my nose.
Hey there, are you okay?
The man tilted his large umbrella towards me and gave me a kind smile. Hi, I'm Lila, 15 years old. Grew up on the streets of Albuquerque. Hope y'all will enjoy my story. I don't remember who my parents were. I was a street kid from a very young age, and my childhood was a muddy, gray swamp. Until I met Dad Frank, a poor watch repairman with the biggest heart I've ever known. Thanks to Dad Frank, I finally had a place to call home and didn't have to steal sandwiches to survive anymore. I also had my first ever friend, Conal, a regular customer at the watch repair shop.
Since you've been here, the boy visits the shop more often.
Anyway, it was nice to finally have a friend to play with. I would show Conal all the interesting nooks and crannies of the streets, and he became my private tutor. After that, we'd race home to see who could get to Dad's vegetable soup first. Those were the happy days I would never forget. Then, after working tirelessly for a long time, Dad Frank finally saved enough money to send me to school. I was so excited to meet new friends, but on the first day when I stepped into the classroom, a fancy-looking girl and her group of friends blocked my way, not looking too friendly. Look at this. Did she use her dad's shorts to make a shirt or what? How cute. Oh, thanks. My dad made it for me himself. Hi, I'm Lucy. Nice to meet... Ugh, what's that smell? Smells like poverty. Lucy suddenly grabbed my shirt and yanked it hard, tearing a piece off. The whole class burst into mocking laughter. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? Oh, honey, you did nothing. You were just P-O-O-R. This wouldn't have happened if you dressed better for class. I just sat there until Conal came into the class and hurried over to cover me with his jacket. That day, I went home in a terrible mood. Was being poor a crime? Just because I wore old clothes to school, did I not deserve to be treated kindly?
How was your day, dear? I made your favorite vegetable soup.
When I tasted the soup, the salty taste filled my mouth and a surge of anger rose. What on earth is this salty mess? Can you even cook? This is inedible! Surprise and hurt flashed in Dad Frank's eyes.
I'm sorry. Let me make you another bowl.
No need. They were right. If I'd been born into a rich family, none of these unlucky things would have happened. I just wanted to leave this lousy place immediately. He wasn't my real dad anyway. Who knew? Maybe my real parents were billionaires or famous superstars? Just as I opened the door, a well-dressed woman appeared before me. Oh, my darling! Is that you, Meredith? She hugged me tightly and started crying. Dad Frank and I were stunned when she claimed to be my biological mother. She said I was born into a wealthy family and my real name was Meredith. Wow, what a fancy one! She and her husband, my biological dad, had divorced when I was 2 years old. She left not knowing that her ex-husband fell ill and passed away soon after, leaving a child behind. She had tried very hard to find me all these years, but only recently got information from the school I'd just enrolled in. The woman, who called herself Mrs. Charlotte, then took out a photo album. She turned each page and passionately told the memories from the day I was born. I couldn't deny that the photos looked a lot like me, and Mrs. Charlotte was ready to do any additional tests to put Dad Frank at ease. He just sat there stunned, probably just as shocked as I was by the mountain of information. Oh, I knew it from the moment I saw your enrollment photo, Meredith. You have my eyes. Oh, I truly regret leaving you back then. From now on, let me make it up to you, okay? Mrs. Charlotte pulled out a fat stack of $100 bills from her bag. It was compensation for Dad Frank for taking care of me all this time.
No, ma'am. I cannot accept this money. Lila's like my own daughter. As for who she will live with,
I will go with her! Mom! Mrs. Charlotte was so happy she burst into tears again. I shoved the money into Dad Frank's hands and left with my mother. This was my chance to change my life. Just as I expected, Mrs. Charlotte lived alone in a gigantic mansion with a large koi pond tiled with marble right in front of the gate. The path to the house was lined with a red carpet, and the servants stood in neat rows on either side, welcoming me like a princess. My life changed in just one night. Now I had an entire dressing room filled with the most luxurious clothing brands. The toilet had a sensor that dried my bum after using it. So relaxing. The food was fresh and delivered to the mansion every morning. With a snap of my fingers, king crab or caviar would be served in an instant. Sweetheart, I'm quite busy, so from now on, whatever you want will be taken care of by the chef and the servants. You just need to snap your fingers and… Oh yes, it's me! School in a shiny convertible BMW. I could hardly contain my laughter at the hilarious faces Lucy and her gang made when they saw me. Why are you… Never underestimate others. Class discrimination isn't cool. This rich life was truly flawless. Except I realized I missed Dad Frank and maybe his overly salty soup. Conal and I still saw each other often at school, but things had become more awkward than before. You can't imagine! Even kings wouldn't have it this good! My pocket money is enough to buy the entire hot dog stand. You can eat as many as you want.
Congrats, Lila. But what about your dad?
Meredith, actually. Dad, he seems to be doing fine.
He's really sad and misses you.
I knew that. I had often seen him standing outside the school gates hoping to see me, but I didn't know how to face him. I felt guilty, but I also didn't want to go back to my old life. One day, I suddenly wanted to drop by the watch repair shop. Dad Frank looked much more haggard. His diligent work on those tiny watches made my heart ache. The guilt was consuming me again. Seizing a moment when he went inside, I quickly placed an envelope of money on the table and tried to run, but Dad Frank had returned and caught me.
Lila, what is this? Why did you…
Let me go! I broke free from his grip and ran away. In the following days, I didn't return to the watch repair shop anymore. My birthday was coming up, and I decided to throw a grand party at home and invite all the students from school. Your mom is so cool, Lila. I wish we could also enjoy a taste of this wealth. While I was basking in pride, noises from outside caught everyone's attention. Wait a minute, it was Dad Frank and Conal. Let them go. I'll handle this. Lila, this poor old man just claimed to be your dad. And look, his shirt looks a lot like the one you wore the first time we met. Shut up, Lucy. Here's my watch repairman here to do some work. I quickly pulled Dad Frank and Conal outside. Conal was furious.
Lila, why did you lie? Mr. Frank took care of you for so long, and now that you found your rich family, he's just a watch repairman to you?
So what? Aren't I allowed to do that? I'm just choosing the life that was meant for me. What's wrong with that?
Fine, you're not wrong, but you're heartless. You're not the Lila I knew anymore. Let's go. Wait a minute.
Dad Frank walked up to me with his sad eyes.
Lila, how have you been? Are you happy here?
I'm fine. Then Conal coldly led him away. Only then did I notice Dad Frank was holding the envelope of money I'd given him. It seemed he hadn't spent any of it and intended to return it. As I watched his figure slowly walking away, my nose suddenly tingled. Since that day, Conal avoided me at school. I felt restless but didn't know what to do. A few days later, while passing by my mom's room, I froze when I overheard her phone conversation.
All right, darling, wait for Mommy to make lots of money. Mommy will be back home soon.
Who else could call her mom? Mom had always said she never started a new family and focused solely on finding me. But it seemed there was still something I didn't know. The next morning, taking advantage of her absence, I sneaked into her room. After rummaging around for a while, I discovered a corner of a document sticking out from under the mattress. Inside were numerous papers along with a letter addressed to me, signed, Your Father. The truth was revealed within. I was the sole heir to this massive fortune after my father's death. Additionally, I found a plane ticket to France and documents transferring property ownership. That was also what Mrs. Charlotte told me to sign that very evening.
It's just some unfinished legal paperwork after your father's passing. You just need to sign it.
And then you'll leave me here and fly to France with your new family, right? Mrs. Charlotte was stunned and began to sweat.
Meredith, what are you talking about?
I trusted you, Mrs. Charlotte. Turns out all you cared about was money and the property. Her eyes turned icy cold immediately. Mrs. Charlotte threw the papers at my face and declared she would lock me up until I signed the documents. And she did just that. Every day, I was given only an apple and some water. No matter how much I pleaded, she didn't even look at me once. I had to plan an escape. The ideal time was when the food delivery truck arrived early in the morning. I used all the luxury items I cherished to make a long rope and rappelled down from the window. Alarms blared loudly as I hit the ground. But nothing mattered anymore. I ran as fast as I could away from that hellish place. The sky poured rain. Hungry and exhausted, I used the little money I had left to buy a sandwich. But just as I was about to take a bite, someone bumped into me and the sandwich fell into a puddle. I remembered the first time I met Dad. Would he appear like that day again? He had reached out to me, given me a hot dog to eat, a home to return to, and left me unconditionally even though I was a homeless stranger. How precious that happiness was. Yet I had taken it for granted and only dreamt of far-off things. Now all I could do was bite into the soggy sandwich. Footsteps echoed behind me. Could it be Mrs. Charlotte's men chasing me? I used the last bit of strength to run away.